Okay, today um, I will try to explain few basic uh, beginner programming in Python. First is to check even and odd. So the logic for even and odd is if the number which we will enter is divisible by 2 and the remainder is 0, then it would be an even number. Else the number would be odd. So through input, we took the input from the user, and then with if-else condition, we are able to print even and odd based on the number entered. And second is largest of two number. So the largest of two number, the logic is if first number is greater than second, then first is greater, else first is not greater. So we have taken the input from user, input for first number, then input for second number, and based on the input from the user, we check our condition and we printed if it is greater or not. Then third is to reverse a string. So to reverse a string, um, in a string we have index, and you see this colon colon. So this is for start of the string, and this is to stop, and this is -1 is a placeholder for a step. If it is -1, that is to start from um, last. So the string which user will enter, so it will reverse that string with this logic, and it will store that um, string into this variable reverse text, and then that reverse text we are printing on the terminal. And the fourth is to check palindrome. So palindrome is like if we are reading that number from forward or backward, it is same. For example, NOON. So if we will reverse that word, it would be known only. So for that, the condition is like this is a variable which is storing the input in the computer memory, right? So if that input is equal to reverse of the string, then that is the palindrome. The reverse we already checked, like how to reverse the um, string right here. So same logic is used here. If the reverse is equal to the number of to the word which we entered, then it is a palindrome. Else it is not a palindrome. And fifth is to find factorial of a number. So factorial of a number is if I have to find the factorial of 3, so it would be 1 into 2 into 3 like that. So first we are taking a jar, and we are storing one value in this jar. So it is the jar is containing value 1. Now what we will do inside this jar, we'll keep on multiplying. into the number of times this loop will run, and this will run based on the number I will enter. So if it is, let's say, 2, it will be 2 plus 1, that would be 3. So 1, 2, 3, it will um, run this run this loop, and it will keep on storing in this here. So it will be 1, 1 into 1, 1, then again it will go for 2, so it will be 1 into 2, then again it will run for 3, so it will be 1 into 2 into 3. It will keep on multiplying and storing in this jar, and then we are printing. So this is factorial, how to find. And now the above programs which we saw, we have using function also we can write those basic program. So to define a function, we use a keyword def, and this is a user defined name, like we have given a name, that is check even odd, the function name, and this is the parameter which is passed to this function. Like the user will enter the value, and based on that value, this function will run. So the logic is same. If the entered number remainder is 0, then it is even, else it is odd. And largest of two number, same condition. We just define the function, user defined function, and pass the argument a and b, and then we check if a is greater than b, return a, else return b. So this is just basic, like to take the input from the user. Reverse a string using function. So again, we defined a user-defined function, reverse string, and passed a parameter text. Like the user will um, enter a word, and then that word would get reversed, and it will uh, output that word, that text. Then here we are just taking an input and calling this function. Palindrome using a function. The logic of palindrome is like backward and the forward. If we read the number, it would be, read the word, it would be same. So we define the function and we passed a parameter word, and if that word is equal to the reverse of the word, then return true, else return false. And this is just we took input from the user, and then again is palindrome the function which we called, and this is the input which is given by the user, and then we are printing this is palindrome, else it is not a palindrome number. Palindrome word. Then factorial of a number. So we used function. This is a user-defined function, and the parameter which we passed here. Let's say we want to calculate the factorial of number 5. So we will pass number 5 into this function. And first result equal to 1 is like we took a jar and we stored number 1 into it. Now every time we'll keep on adding the logic from here onto this jar. For I in range, it will start with 1 to the number which I want to calculate, let's say 2. So it will be 2, plus 1, 3. So it will run how many times? A 1, 2, 2 time it will run. And every time it will run, it will multiply by the count, by the index. It will run like 1, then 2, likewise. And then it will return the result and will store here. So this is just to take the input from the user and then just printing here. Again, this is using recursion. Using recursion, like this is a function, even odd, and this is a number. Condition if number equal to 0, return even. If number equal to 1, return odd. It is even odd is like it should be num if number divisible by 2 and the remainder is 0. Okay. Okay, this is like this is a function even odd, and we call this function here, and the number, let's say I pass number 4. So 4 minus 2, it will be 2, so it will return 2. Number is 0. I did not use this one. I just used like inside the function, I just checked the condition if the remainder is 0 or not, but I didn't use this logic in my practice. Largest of two numbers. It is a function, a user-defined function, a and b. If a is equals to b, return a. If a greater than b, return a, return b. I did not touch this recursion approach, and this is also a recursion approach. Um, this is a function, reverse string. We pass the input from the user text. If text equal to blank, return text and return reverse string. We call the function and the starting character of the text plus um, text start like zeroth index of the text. This is index 1 of the text. Okay, so it is every time we are seeing that it is calling itself. Here also, this function is calling itself. Okay, so recursion is when a function call itself. Okay, calling itself until a condition stops it. Okay, num minus 2, return b. Okay, for palindrome, is palindrome then a word entered by the user. If length of the word which is entered by user is less than equal to 1, return true. If word the zeroth index of the word is not equal to the last character of the word, return false. return is palindrome, start of the string is equal to end of the string character. This is to take the input from the user is palindrome. We call this function print palindrome else not palindrome. This is we are calling this function here a factorial. So this is a function we used. We defined a function and the parameter which we're passing here. If it is equal to 0 or if it's equal to 1, return 1. Return n into factorial of n minus 1. Okay, that is true. Like if we want to calculate the factorial of 5, so it would be 5 minus 1, 4. So 5 is already there, and then it will calculate 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 like that. Base case is this. So like I personally feel recursion bit difficult, although it is to create into a smaller problems. But I find without function or with function better than this recursion approach. Like here, the logic is remainder is equal to 0, then for even and odd. For largest, we have the max function also. And to reverse a string, the logic is very clear. If the last character of the string is equal to the string which we entered. Palindrome also same. It is just reversing the string. A palindrome is equal. It is checking if it is equal to the word which we entered, then that is palindrome. And for the factorial also we have the inbuilt function factorial. And then like to print, we use this print function and the string inside the double quotes. To check even and odd, same logic. If the remainder is equal to 0, then even, else odd, largest. If with the max function, max of a comma b. Swap two numbers. So we assign the value to variables, and then we just swapped it b comma I, and then we are printing a comma b, so it will reverse the number which we entered. It will swap these two numbers. Reverse a string, simple logic, -1 at this step placeholder. And for palindrome, we just need to check whether the word which we entered is equal to the reverse of that word. If yes, then that is palindrome. Factorial, this is like without function, and we are just using, like first we have to set the value as 1, and then we have to just keep on multiplying while we are running this loop from 1 to the number which we have entered. So it is for I in range 1 to num plus 1, and then factorial multiply equal to I. So it is like factorial is equal to factorial into I. Fibonacci series. Fibonacci means the sum of previous two numbers is will be there. Whatever the number I will enter, so it will run this. So this is like first I have set it 0 and 1 for um, for A and B, and then without indexer or counter, I'm running it for the number of time, the number which I entered, let's say 10. So if I entered number 10, so it will do what? It will first A is B, that is 1, and B equal to the sum of previous two number which I will enter. So it will be A plus B. When I print A comma B, so this will give the result based on this logic by making by putting the value of A B into A, and in B it's like A plus B. Check the prime number. Prime number, it should be greater than 1. If the number is greater than 1, and this is the condition, so if the remainder is 0, then that is not a prime number and it will break, else it is a prime number. Because in the prime number, if we'll say 1, so why we are taking greater than 1? Like we took this range starting with 2. The reason is because 1 is alone. Like when we say number 2, so it is having multiple of 1 and itself. So the condition of prime number is that it should have two factors, 1 and itself. Okay. So these are few beginner programs in Python.